Hello and welcome to the Underpowered podcast, a gaming podcast where we battle our backlog, revealing what is worth your time, money, and energy. This is episode number 79. I am Shelby Stokes, and here today, Casey Cool.
Welcome back.
And I, as he cracks a cold one. Are you drinking daddy sodas today?
No, just LaCroix.
LaCroix? Oh man, you were really going for the bubble water sponsorship. I actually had a daddy soda this afternoon. I should have had a second one.
At lunch?
No, for just like the kids are being difficult, so I'm going to have a beer right here at this kitchen island.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No. Have you had Night Owl? Have you tried this Night Owl beer?
Night Owl beer? No. What is that?
It's like a pumpkin spice beer by Elysian, and it tastes real good. Real good.
I like one of those. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings this last weekend to watch the UFC because my brother-in-law was like, "You want to hang out?" And basically, I get a get out of free jail card from my wife if it's hanging out with her brother. So like, dogs off the leash, let's go. And he orders a Bud Light. He's gonna be a dad, and we're talking. And I go, you know what? I'm gonna take a Bud Heavy. I drank Bud Heavies and ate 20 habanero mango wings, and boy, was it Heartburn City. I don't usually drink beer anymore. I drink cider.
Right.
And I didn't want like an Angry Orchard because, you know, I'm a snob, apparently. But I was like, he's like, oh, Bud Light. And his buddy that was there was Bud Light. And I was like, you know what? I'll take a Bud Heavy.
Really? Were they just look at you and like, we don't even sell that?
She's like, a Budweiser? The lady smiled. Like, it brought joy to her heart that I said a Bud Heavy. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And it was okay. You only need 2.
Did it taste good?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
okay.
It's more filling. I actually prefer it, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've been going down the beer train. Have we had this conversation at all? Like,
no, we haven't.
I have become a beer guy thanks to Dr. Z, actually, in our Discord. He has finally brought me to the light of good fancy beers, and now I am that guy at the bar that's like, do you have a beer list? What kind of IPA do you have?
Oh.
Anything local? Like, I had to travel for work this weekend, so I was in like rural Illinois is where I was, like 3 hours south of Chi-Town. And I was like, yeah, do you have any local beers? And the lady's like, I don't know, this one. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm real into it right now.
Yeah, no, I like getting cheap beer, like a Ronier but if it has a funny name that I can use and go full dad, I just will take that.
But here's the deal, is if you get like a fancy beer, you can have 2 of them and have a pretty darn good buzz.
I could have 2 Bud Heavies, and guess what? I had a pretty good buzz.
Well, nobody drinks Bud Heavies. I'm surprised she wasn't just like, we don't sell that anymore.
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
sorry.
Cowboys drink it. Real men drink a Bud Heavy.
Right. By the way, is anybody still drinking Coke, like Coca-Cola Classic?
Like regular Coca-Cola?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, like, there's Diet Coke now. Like, you realize they make that almost the exact same thing, just with zero sugar,
I would
right?
prefer, you mean with fake sugar in it, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I would prefer like a traditional bottled Coke, to be honest with you. I'll drink a classic Coke, but in a bottle.
Now, is that like the Mexican Coke?
That is racist, sir. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I know people call that.
It's not. I used to work at Coca-Cola like 10 years ago, and it's branded Mexican Coke. Yeah,
that's
for
so
sure.
Weird. Because of that, what's that one fruit? Tapajito. You know what I'm talking about? They come in red, orange, yellow.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're at all the grocery stores.
You're not talking about a guava.
Doritos. No, Doritos, which is like they come in like there's cherry, there's orange. It's like a very popular soda brand. Jarritos or Jarritos. J is H sound. Yo soy muy gringo. Jarritos, man, are bomb,
Jarritos,
but they're super sugary.
I do know what you're talking about. I don't think I've had one in ever. Well, not ever, but a very long time. I don't remember what
something about the glass bottle.
Really?
It's just better. Yeah.
Well, because it's cane sugar, right? It's like real sugar. It's not any of the fake stuff.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm gonna drink one, I'm gonna have one. But I rarely would get a Coca-Cola. I told you I did with the one day at McDonald's a Sprite.
Dude, we made some people mad in our Discord regarding energy drinks last week. Like, people are throwing the flag for energy drinks, which I had no idea.
I am 5 days clean and sober from energy drinks. I'm feeling good about my life.
Well, I'm
gonna see how long I go. I want to go at least like 100 days.
It's been an hour since I had a beer, so I'm feeling pretty about myself.
Speaking of feeling pretty about yourself, how many video games have you played? How long has it been how many days has it been since you played a video game?
It has been exactly I don't think I've played a video game today. So 24 hours ish.
Whoa!
Yeah, 24 hours since I played a game.
It has been an
But
hour for me.
really, 1 hour. I like it. I like it. So I downloaded and have been playing Kentucky Route Zero is what I've
Oh.
been playing. Yeah.
Are you waiting for? Didn't we say? Oh, you're gonna get Last of Us 2, right? But you're just holding off. Okay.
Correct. So I had ordered it when we had our last conversation and it arrived yesterday. It is installed on
Got
my
it.
PlayStation, but I needed something between our last recording and
So, what's the deal with that game?
today.
Is it a story-based game?
Yep, point and click adventure.
Okay.
I'm playing it on the Xbox, so I'm obviously basically playing a cursor with thumbsticks is essentially what I'm doing. And it is weird. It is weird. I know it was on a lot of good lists. They have 5 episodes. It was a crowdfunded game. It came out over the course of like 8 years, I want to say, and don't quote me on that, but a handful of years, 5 episodes, and the last episode came out last year. So I'm going back and playing it. It's really kind of out there, right? There's some weird stuff going on. You're supposed to be delivering something to a house, and some weird stuff type. It's weird things are happening, whether it's like out of this world or ghosts. It's kind of hard to see what direction it's going in right now, but it's pretty good so far. Could be the
So,
Twilight Zone.
okay, it's like Tyler. So, like, you just like, all right, go deliver this. There's no backstory to the delivery person. Like, hey, this is why he's delivering, or she
When you
is delivering
start it,
packages.
you don't really know. So I'm 2 of 5 episodes in. So you begin, you find yourself at a gas station and you're just talking to people. Some weird stuff happens. And essentially it zooms you out on this map and you are controlling a truck in like rural Kentucky. So you're going up the highway and then it's like, take a left on this road. So you
Hence the
find the right
name, right?
road, you take the left, and then you look for like the burning tree and then take a right at the burning tree and then you get to your next destination.
Okay.
And some of those destinations are old school adventure games, like it's just text based, and then they'll like do stuff with the screen behind you, so you'll start reading through, and then you went into a cave, and right when you hit that button or you hit that prompt in the messaging, it'll change the background or hit audio cues. So it's pretty immersive, but it's also stripped down quite a bit. So I'm pretty impressed so far.
Immersive.
It's how you say it. It's immersive.
Immersive. You sound very French.
Emphasis on the wrong syllable.
So,
So
is it
I'm,
funny? Like, or is it just weird? Like, that's
it's
you keep hitting the word weird. Is it just strange?
it's weird. It's strange. It's strange. I'm enjoying it. It's intriguing. Is it funny? It's not like joke, but it has some funnies here
Is
and
there
there.
any action? This doesn't seem like a. Do you like point and click games
No,
like Monkey Island or any of that?
no. I did not like them. I mean, Myst. I remember playing Myst. I played a lot of Putt Putt as a young man, but
But Myst is a puzzle game too, right? Like it's point and
yeah,
click,
that's
but there's
true.
like right. So there's no okay. Yeah, this game seems like it's artsy fartsy.
Very much so. Very much artsy fartsy and
I think
very
we're gonna
in its
have that category.
feelings. Very in its feelings. What is the game with the
Night in the Woods.
animals? Yes,
Night in the Woods.
it's
I
very
was thinking that.
reminiscent
Is
of
it?
that. Hmm.
But I heard Nights of the Woods kind of like humorous. Like there's a lot of humorous beats to it.
Definitely more humor in Night in the Woods. And Night in the Woods ended up being like a 2D platformer to some extent too. Like you were kind of jumping around and trying to get to different areas. In this one, it's you go to the map, you go to the left, you go to the right, you interact with everything, and yeah, I mean there is some humor in it. I hit one part where you go into a bureaucratic building, and they're like, you need to put in a request form, but I don't have those. Go to this next desk, and essentially it's like sending you around an office just in a loop, like looking for the next form. So I mean, there's like some funny parts like that, but I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm 2 of 5 episodes in, so pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So that was just your in between, your palate cleanser. Have you
My palette cleanser. That's exactly right. Wish I would have bought it on the Switch.
really? Oh, that would probably be a good
This
fun place for it.
is, yeah, I think this would be a great Switch title, especially because I just traveled
Yeah.
quite a bit. And yeah, but what have you been playing?
I have continued my journey through the world of Naruto, Shippuden. I was doing a battle actually a little bit before here, showing my son one of like the epic scenes. I think you've seen some of Shippuden where they like the time skip where they get a bit older, right?
I don't think so.
There's this like scene. It's like one of the coolest things Sakura does, which isn't much because she gets a lot of hate on the internet. They fight 100 puppets because there's like the puppet users,
Yeah,
right?
I remember the puppet guy. Yeah.
There's a different one later. and he's
Gotcha.
like a really strong puppet, and he has 100 at once, and it's like this whole big thing. But it's a really well animated sequence in the anime, and then it's like a timed battle event where you have to hit certain buttons. And my son was like, "Whoa!" He really likes Naruto. Thinks Naruto is really cool. He saw Might Rock Lee. You remember Rock Lee with the black hair?
Yeah.
He's like, that guy's weird. And then he watched me fight with him. He's like, oh, he's cool. Like he had to see him bust some moves before he was like sold on him. I was like, yeah, man, this guy's rad.
Yeah.
Um, but besides that, my wife and my son started playing Breath of the Wild together, and so
Oh.
by proxy, that means I get to play when they're stuck. So I get to flex my Zelda skills on my son. He's floored. He wanted to be Link for Halloween, but the costume that we got didn't come with the ears.
Oh
We
my
got a Link
gosh.
costume and the ears weren't in it. It was like a big complaint on the
How
Target
are they getting
listing.
stuck in that game? That doesn't seem like a game that you really get stuck in.
Like, how do you get the shrine? Oh, can you
Okay.
kill this thing for me? Right, like that. Like, there's one shrine where you could see it through a crack, and I was like, no, there's got to be a way, and like you have to go up 3.
Levels.
No, like just there's these rocks that you blow up and they open up a air gust, and you have to go up to the
Gotcha.
third one and fly into this other crevasse and go down and work your way in. I was like, there's a way in here from the backside, I bet. And it's funny what I remember from this game. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. As soon as I play, it's like, oh, that game has a big imprint on me. But Naruto, and then I also played a point and click adventure. I went back on my BS with Phoenix Wright.
You went back to it, huh?
Yeah, I gotta finish what I started because I don't dislike it. I
Right.
like it, but it's just slow, like really slow. Because it's a 20-plus-year-old game, so there's some things like I'm curious. There was this new one that just came out, and I don't know how it was received by true hardcore fans, but if the next one comes out and people love it, I'd like to try that. Like, I'd also really like to try those Professor Laytons. I've heard those are amazing brain teaser games, and they're a little different, but uh, the the I like getting in the court, and I like pressing the characters and finding the inconsistencies in their case. Like, it feels really good when you crack it, right?
Is that right?
Yeah. The only time I'm using a guide, and to be 100% honest, is during the investigation stuff, because I want to get the piece and I want to move the story along. Because sometimes you'll go back to a place and it's like, oh, you just need to show them this person's profile. And it's like, oh, really? That's all I had to do.
That's all I had to do.
So if you can still enjoy the game, because they're spoiler-free walkthroughs, we'll just tell you where to go without like what the details, which I love, and that's what I looked for, and I use that. I think I'm gonna try to beat that before Christmas. That's kind of my big to do.
Very nice.
So the NES library, I had this talk with you. Again, I play a lot of things, Naruto and Phoenix Wright. I went back and tried to play Star Tropics, which is like this old NES game that it's about a boy and it's kind of like a top-down Zelda-like. It has this weird like open world element where you have like a submarine and you interact, and then when you go into a dungeon, it changes the character sprite art, and your heart pad comes up, and that's where you can actually fight. It's not great. It aged, like it's from 1990 or whatever. The one nice thing
But
about
it's also free, right? This is included in the Nintendo subscription.
the online subscription, so you get that.
Nice.
And also, it's really nice. And this was a night about the Mega Man Legacy collections and the earlier games. If you can rewind time.
Oh, that's neat.
So if you die, instead of you can rewind and redo from the jump instead of having to redo the level. So it's nice because those old NES games their controllers aren't very precise. So it's not like I'm not dying because it's jank. It's like, oh, I'm hitting the input. You can't turn diagonal. You know what I mean? You have to go left. You have to go it's really hard turns sometimes. And you're like, oh. Yeah. So you have to get a jumping sequence, and you have to be really good with the jumping sequence, but one little slip up, right?
Yeah.
I'm halfway through that.
No,
I'm kind of like, well, I've come this far.
Are you playing with JoyCons that are messed up, or do you have good JoyCons? I play
with my Pro. I play that on the TV. I play that solely on the TV. No, my one Joy-Cons aren't messed up, but you know how you can press on a Joy-Con? Mm-hmm. My right one I can't press down on.
Now, when you say press, are you talking about the stick?
When you can push on the stick, like push the stick down as a button, right?
Right.
My right one doesn't, in my newer pair, it doesn't work.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Which sucks. Well, yeah, in Bravely Default, that's how you pull up your map on the world map. No. And so it was like, if I'm playing on undocked, it's pretty much pointless to have the map not pulled up. And yeah, it's horrible.
So that's pretty difficult. So I think I am on the edge of buying new Joy-Cons. I think I might have to buy them this week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I really just want to send my old ones in.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't they stop doing that for COVID though?
No, now it's back. Nintendo JoyCon Repair. You can Google search it. It's pretty simple to do. You send it in. I'm sure they have an influx of it, but now that they know you're not getting COVID from like surfaces, like it was right, because the original thing COVID, like we don't know if it's coming from packages, right? We don't know how it's carried on.
Yeah.
Um, they're like, yeah, repair them. We'll wear masks and put it together.
So the reason I bring it up is because I mentioned that I was traveling this weekend, which meant
Yeah.
I was playing my Switch more than I've played in a while. I kind of bought the Switch to travel with, and I haven't been traveling much, but I traveled again, and I got back into Hollow Knight.
Oh, I love that game.
Yes. So I got back into Hollow Knight. I started playing with the stick, and then realized I could just use the buttons to move, and that was a game changer for me. I had a trouble getting back in. We've talked about dad mode on this podcast. Could really use a dad mode on this.
A journal wherever you left off, right? But that game
Yeah.
punishes you for like all that, because you know that game's like, oh, find the map, go find the guy so you can get the map. That game's not like, it's not dad friendly.
No, not at all. So I definitely had to do some Googling to figure out where to go. I spent way too much time on the Nightwatchers. Do you remember the Nightwatchers where you have to battle like 5 of those bugs at once, and then they throw 2 of them at you at a time?
Is it the Mantises?
No, they're called the Nightwatch. They're like pill bugs, and they can
they're the big fat bugs. Yeah.
Yes.
I did that for like 2 hours straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many hearts do you have? You're pretty.
Like 6, not that many.
Okay. So you're
5 or 6 maybe, but I didn't have one of the dash mechanics. So I tried to play the Night Watchers. I probably tried for 3 hours straight, just like going in, quitting, trying something else, coming back, doing it again. And eventually I was just like, forget this. I'm done. I'm taking a 4-hour flight into Chicago, and I am not going to try again until I can look it up. Turned out I could go out and get another ability, which helped the fight quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then I was able to come back and beat them.
That game's about the right abilities.
Yes, very much so. And I don't really have a ton of pins, and I don't really know how to unlock them without looking it up. So I'm just going to keep on
looking it up.
I have one more mask that I need to do before I unlock the gate, and I don't know how to get to it. So that's a little frustrating.
Just use the guide. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, except for the guide.
It's like a 40-hour game. Like,
is it really? Is it that long?
Yeah.
I believe it. Because I felt like I was close to the end when I stopped playing, and then I got back in, and I'm like, oh no, I still have quite a bit to do.
Yeah. Like,
so 40 hours feels about right.
Did you fight the Mantises down at the bottom? They sit at the throne and they summon the 2 or 3 Mantises. It's where the bees are, and you can take the challenge, and they fight you, and you have to go through the gauntlet with them.
Nope, I have not done that.
That took forever. There's a couple of boss fights in there. There's one. Have you met the guy who is a knight? He's called Grub, and he carries like a big fang.
Yeah.
There's a fight with him if you help him at a certain point, or her. It's a girl. It's a big fat bug with the club. If you help her, she will help you in that fight.
Yeah. So I got through Night Watchers. That felt good, and then I had to take on Hornet. I killed Hornet, and then there was a big jellyfish guy that I just took down. Ooh. Yeah, and that one was pretty easy. That took me like 3 or 4 tries, and then I knocked that one out. So anyway, I think I'm going to keep on it. All that to say, I am either going to dive back into Divinity Original Sin because I'm traveling again next week, or I'm going to buy something on Switch, and I don't know what it's going to be. I'm thinking it might be Mario 3D World with Bowser.
Chef's Kiss. That might be one of my.
That's
one of my favorite games this year. It was one of my favorite games on Wii U. Hint, hint. I'm letting everyone know something that'll probably be on my list for sure.
Yeah.
I also think you did really like JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to try Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That's a game, and it's on sale this next week it's down to 50 instead of 60.
I'll have to take a look. I think I'm going to. My sister has a copy of the Mario game, so I think I might try it on hers, and then I may end up buying it because that was one that people raved about when the Wii U was out, and it's kind of a blind spot for me.
It's great. The Bowser Fury is great. Your kids can love it too. Your kids can just walk around and do whatever.
Now, would you recommend that over the Rabbids one?
The Kingdom Battler thing?
Yes.
That's a RTS. That's a way for kids. Absolutely. If you want a platformer, get Mario 3D World. The Rabbids one's a RTS, like not RTS, but it's a
Gotcha.
tactical grid battler.
Gotcha. So, I mean, all that to say, like, if I do go and buy this Mario game, I'm going to need new Joy-Cons, right? I'm going to need a solid stick to make that happen. And when I'm traveling, I don't like to set up my Pro controller
You can do
on the
that.
plane.
You just pull it out and then you stick up your Switch with the thing on the back. But then people are gonna be like, "What the hell?" You're gonna have your tabletop down. On the next week, actually, we're gonna be launching a Black Friday special episode for people looking to buy their significant others or the gamer in their life some gifts, and we're going to give some recommendations. And there's something on there that I will recommend to you that people can listen to, and that is called a tease.
Ooh, look at that tease. Look at that tease.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss not to mention 2 other games that I'm playing, and then we'll move on to the news. But Forza Horizon 5 came out last week. It's real good driving. It's very much like 4, but in Mexico. The soundtrack is awesome. I was kind of hesitant to get in, and I'm very happy I did. I've only played like an hour maybe, and it was pretty good. I also went through the tutorial of Halo Infinite, and that game feels way different than I thought it would.
Dude, the multiplayer just launched, and people are raving.
Yeah,
like people are. That's hot.
I am blown away at how solid this game feels, and I've only been through the tutorial. I'm gonna like hold out judgment, but it feels like a modern shooter. And I know that sounds stupid because of course it's Halo, it's Microsoft, but this had a very high chance in my mind of feeling like an old Halo game, and it feels like a Call of Duty but with Halo, and it is a great marriage of the two. I'm very impressed so far.
Cool. And it's free to play?
It is free to play. Well, Game Pass, yeah.
A Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I've been playing, but let's move on to the news. So we just picked out 2 kind of general news stories. The Speculation News Network.
Yes, well, I think the big one, let's do the minor one first, I guess.
Yeah,
G4 is officially back. They launched this week as a Tuesday on their Twitch channel, G4 TV. It's really nice to see. I'm really impressed with the cast of people they've got on there. They brought Kevin Pereira and Adam Sessler back. And they've got Xavier Woods from the WWE, Black Okoge, Gina Darling. They've got all these big internet names. Abby Russell, formerly from Giant Bomb, is a creative producer for them. Like, they've got some big names on there, and the studio's big. I have a lot of fond memories of G4 personally. And one of my best friends, a friend of the show, Sean Spool, he worked there.
Wow.
I was trying to get him on tonight, but he had plans. So I'd love to get his take on what it's like having it back, or how it has to be working, because it's on Twitch and YouTube. It's not on a TV channel.
Gotcha.
Right? It's not a website either. So that's the other thing. Like, places don't really have websites anymore. They either have a Twitch, or they have that, or they have a social media platform.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like they actually have a weekly schedule. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're releasing content every day.
Which is smart.
What I'm looking at right now. I don't know how long the content is, but yeah, this could be a cool thing to keep our eyes on. And a lot of those personalities I love from the G4 days. I haven't been traveling following Sessler or Pereira, but I was big fans of them back in the day.
Well, XPlay is coming back. They get esports awards. They have a Dungeons and Dragons segment going on, which I love. I love how everyone's getting so into Dungeons and Dragons.
I love it.
Dude, that, me, that's been my biggest thing since COVID that I've fallen in love with. I really think I bought. I told you that we bought the Monster Manual. Did I tell you about that?
No.
My son and I went to the bookstore to get his mom some Christmas gifts, and we did. And then when we're there, I'm like, all right, we can go get you a book. And he's like, well, Dad, can we go look at because I was telling him about Dungeons and Dragons. Like, there's a monster book, right? I go, yeah. He goes, can we go see if they have it? And I was like, oh, they don't have it. And he started pouting. And then I found the last copy. I was like, oh, the Monster Manual's here. He goes, let's get it. And I go, this is my book. He's like, whatever. I just want to look at it. Whole car ride home, he's trying to read big words, look at the monsters. Some are scary. And he's like, ooh, let me talk about that. Tell me about. He's like, what's AC? What's this? What is this thing? Like, he was deciphering it. And he read for about 30, 40 minutes straight. Just was engrossed. So, one, killer dad move. Got some reading time out of that. But big ups to G4 for going into that segment of the nerddom, and they're bringing XPlay back, which I love too.
Now, which one was XPlay? Was that
XPlay was the one with Adam Sussler where they reviewed the games.
okay? Gotcha. Where he'd come on and then give a review of some kind.
Yes, him and the Blair Herder and a couple other people.
Yeah.
Is G4 TV going to bring back cops? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't think you can play cops anymore. I don't think that's gonna work.
Could you do Campus PD though? Campus PD was solid.
Campus PD
because you just see drunk college kids.
That's all it was. It was drunk college kids.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, look at these idiots, and you do the same thing like an hour later.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so very cool. Yeah, I'm excited to get on and watch a little bit of this. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, they're streaming. I think they're done now. They're offline, or as we recording this.
Yeah, it looks like they go 4:00 on West Coast time, 7 p.m. East Coast.
Yep.
Daily.
Yep. And then you can look at their schedule there, but go out and support them. They were important to early gaming. Speaking of supporting gaming, Game Award announcements.
The Game Awards. Now, this is happening 12/9 of 2021, I do believe.
December 9th, yes.
December 9th, yes.
But they announced the categories and names. There's a bunch of esports one, like best esport event, coach, esports team, athlete. One of the athletes is named Simp, so I hope he wins. But the games are really just all shooters in MOBAs at this point.
Yeah, it's I mean, they have quite a few categories here. I think there's a best family category, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, how is 12 minutes not in here?" 12 minutes is the one where you're killing your sister and your dad. There's like some really weird. Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry, there's some really dark things to 12 minutes. So it's been a good laugh.
Yeah, they're doing best AR VR. I don't know if that's been a category in the past, but that's kind of neat. I'm sure it was. Best mobile game is also on here. But what I kind of
mobile game, Genshin Impact, easily.
Is that right?
No, actually, Pokemon Unite. What am I talking about?
Unite.
Game of the year
for sure. But the thing I wanted to bring up here was the game of the year, the nominees for game of the year, and they are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, people were really big on Resident Evil. Some of these I'm like, oh yeah, Deathloop I've heard is amazing.
I mean, Deathloop was a shoo-in for me in terms of goaties. Like, guaranteed that one was going in.
I'm surprised Returnal's up there for best game direction, but Returnal had a lot of hype too.
Right. So I guess part of the reason I wanted to bring this up is two games that I never would have expected on this list. It Takes Two from the developer of Brothers back in the day.
Yeah, we had Ben Bertoli was on here talking to us about that this year.
Yeah, and it was kind of a critic's darling, it felt like back in the day, but didn't get really the love it maybe deserved. I am shocked that It Takes Two is on this list. And I'm happy that it's on this list, but I was not expecting that at all.
Ratchet and Clank, I'm actually not surprised. I think because It Takes Two is
it's like a co-op.
PlayStation 5?
No.
Is it PS5 exclusive?
It Takes Two? No, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's exclusive. Ratchet and Clank are for sure. That's a PS5. Is it PS5?
Here's why I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm shocked. It Takes Two is an EA game. It's an Electronic Arts game. That's why I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm surprised by that. I'm also surprised that Psychonauts 2 is on this list.
Weren't you playing that?
I played it. I beat it. It's done. And I really enjoyed it. But I'm shocked that other people have loved it as much as I have. Like, I thought I was biased because I really liked the old game.
Yeah.
I thought Psychonauts 2 was really well done, but Game of the Year, I never would have dreamt that this would have been on everyone's Game of the Year lists.
Well, something that makes me excited about, I think those are all interesting. I'm obviously going to be rooting for Metroid Dread because it's the Nintendo game. But best narrative, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. I love how bad the Avenger game that released, this last year or the year. When did the Avengers game release?
Oh, the Avengers game? I think it was a couple years ago. I want to say late. Was it 2020? Late 2020? Feels like late 2019 in my mind.
No, it was during our time of the show. It came out August 14th, 2020. You're right. Okay. So
in
Avengers
2020.
came out and it was kind of like people were like, oh, Marvel games are bad. Square's kind of screwed with all these Marvel games, right?
I mean, I played that game a little bit when we were on our break, and boy, it deserves all the bad word of mouth it
Yeah.
got.
But Guardian of the Galaxy's up for best narrative. I've heard that's getting great reviews.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer. There's the one that Valheim. Remember how hot Valheim was?
I do, but that game felt like it really came and went. I'm kind of surprised it's on this list.
Here are the nominees for best multiplayer: Back for Blood, Knockout City, should be Free City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New Worlds, Valheim.
Ooh,
There is a
Monster
clear
Hunter,
winner in my
Monster Hunter for you,
number
right?
one.
Yeah.
Easy. That game is still good. People are still playing it. I almost fired that up today. I have every intention of firing up, and they're adding more paid DLC for it. Give it to me in my veins.
That right? Oh my gosh. I think that, that's quite the list of games. I thought Back for Blood was pretty good. I'd like to go back and play a little bit more of it.
You mean Left 4 Dead 2 too?
Yes, basically. I mean, I didn't get into Left 4 Dead all that much. I tried to play through it as a single or a solo, and that didn't work. But
wait, Lift 4 Dead?
Lift
Is that
4
like
Dead.
a weight training game?
No, that's it's like kind of like a moving simulator.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Dude, there is a moving game like Overcooked where you have to move like boxes and you're moving for a moving company.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Lift 4 Dead. It's a new title. It's where you're trying to move stuff while being chased by zombies.
And get super swole. It's for bros.
Swole. But I am impressed with Back for Blood. I didn't talk about it this week, but I was replaying a segment that we had played on a week previously, and they completely changed it up. So I'm pretty impressed on the dynamics of some of the maps and that. But no.
Right on.
So yeah, December 9th, mark your calendars. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be good. I might actually get to watch it. I normally always used to work on Thursdays, but since COVID, that's not the case. So I might actually get to sit down and watch this one.
Well, I'm excited because it really just takes all game reviews and validates or doesn't validate them. And as we move to our final segment of validated game reviews, we're going to bring back a oldie but a goodie in one-star reviews. GTA... Rockstar released the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition, which is Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. And you think people would be excited. Currently on Metacritic, its critic score is an average 63. That's a D minus almost.
Ooh.
Its users is 0.8.
0.8?
Not 8.0, not 80. 0.8. 0.8.
That's got to be people trolling though, right?
People are pissed. It doesn't look great. It's really laggy from my understanding, but I'm going to read you some of the reviews, and you're going to tell me how you rate these one-star reviews. Okay.
No. Okay, let's do it.
This is from Cobb's Pure Critic, is the user. Dear Rockstar, what happened to you? You used to be a company that makes really good games. Now it's all about money, and this is not good. Personally, I, lowercase I, like improvements because it looks nice. But if you play it, there are so many more bugs. Some models look terrible, like Denise and San Andreas. Oh, come on. I know it's a remaster, not a remake. And you want to keep all the things that used to be in there, even the bugs we like. But listen to people and fix some things that we demand. It can be saved by patches, but I expect more from companies like you. It is sad that modders put more love in improvements than companies that created the game themselves. Ooh. It looks like you created it, but was not tested properly. Or is this test?
Okay, you know what? He put some thought into that review, so you got to give him props for that. But a 0.8, a 0.8. Okay, all right.
I give it an 8.
Gotcha.
He gave it a 2. He gave it a 2 out of 10. 0.8 is a greatest story. I think he's being fair because he loves the company, and he makes some good points. The modders probably will fix it. And they could just be like, here's Rockstar's thing now. They'll just send up, like, companies keep doing this. It's my whole thing why I was mad at Cyberpunk.
Which I hate to go out of order, but Cyberpunk is on some of those Game Award categories. I don't know if you saw that. I think it's for multiple. I think it's best narrative.
It's on it has one, a spot too. And it's for music.
There's multiple categories that Cyberpunk sits on. But
best role playing, best music,
but not none, right? Categories. I mean, like I just control kind of what I'm getting at. So to your point, like
but not none. That is true.
For it. In fact, if their game eventually gains steam, then they get praised for it. I will go back and play 2077 when it releases for the X series. I guarantee you that. But we'll see how that goes. Regarding this GTA review, I mean, I think he's got a good point. People are going to mod it and make it work. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's solid. I give his 1-star review 10 stars. Okay. All right. Okay, this one's by Sugo. I thought, yeah, it's Rockstar. How bad can it be? And pre-ordered. I wish I saved my money for Black Friday, and this is complete trash. I'll never buy through pre-order by them
for the
anymore.
legacy. You've brought shame on the legacy of the GTAs. Come on,
it's series.
Zero.
This is a zero. He gave him a zero.
I feel like if you lead with a zero, you're automatically just saying, okay, this is a troll comment.
A lot of
you gotta at least give a point, right? Yeah.
Kind of, or you're more mad at the shipping than the game.
I give that review a solid 2.
Okay,
like, what was that? 2 sentences? Like, he's not even trying. I'm giving him a 2. No, actually, I'm giving him a 0 on principle.
I think as a 1-star review, oh, wow, I'm gonna give him a 7 because that's perfect, short and sweet. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for bad reviews, bad takes. Okay, this next one. This is from Sanika. This abomination is nowhere near Rockstar quality. They should remove this from the store immediately and remake it as soon as possible. Our expectations were low because this game was going to be a remaster, but they created a product even worse than the one 20 years old. Rockstar does not depend on the income this game will generate. Therefore, they should not try to work around it like Cyberpunk did and remove this junk from the face of the earth. He did not say junk.
See, people are just really mad that they actually paid money for this. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are.
Boy, that's for the whole trilogy.
Because what do you think the price point is for this game, for this trilogy, this remaster? Mm-hmm.
That seems right. A retouch on all 3 games. Higher? 60? $60. Yeah. I mean, $20 a game. That's a lot of game for $20 a pop, but I get it. It's not touched up. It's not re-realized. That's one of those games that you could really spend $60 on and play forever, though. You know what I mean? There's a lot of content there. Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be on the Switch. Fun just to have. No. I'm gonna be real. I couldn't go through a GTA, especially
really.
A legacy GTA. Like, there's too much. Pick this person up, drop this person off, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The online GTA sounds fun because I can just do whatever and not feel like I'm missing games right now.
Like, I don't know where you go next, but me driving to a waypoint is not sound all that great. No. Give that 1-star review. That feels like a solid 4 to me.
What do you give that 1-star review?
Yeah. Well done. Did their homework.
Yeah, I give it a 5. All right, last one. Jakey McGee. F Rockstar, you guys ruined 3 amazing games and effed over every modder out there that has been keeping these games fresh. The trilogy is now an effing abomination, 0 effing effort, 0 effing passion went into this. Seriously disappointed that Rockstar went this low for some quick money.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, I got to give that one a 7. I do appreciate his overuse of the F word, though. Like, well done. Like, way to get your point across.
Okay. Yes. Actually, here's a solid one, too. This will be earlier. This is from Achilles. Bugs, CJ terrible, bad game, no play, caveman. Rockstar kidding with me. See, the price is crazy for this bad game. Basically, yes, it's Bugs, CJ terrible, bad game. I give that a 9. But the last one I think is 8 for sure, for real.
Yes, it does. Thank you for joining us this week. Well, Shelby, good work, Casey. It's been nice catching up, dude. Let's do it again soon.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you over the interwebs. We will. And stay tuned next week, everybody. I know enjoy your holidays or your vacation
Yes, for
time,
sure. And eat
and be
all
on
the
the lookout for
turkey if you are
our
celebrating
spending our
Thanksgiving.
holiday
If
guide.
not, spend some time with family. Kiss the ones you love. And if you want more of us, you can feel free to follow us on our social
Yeah.
channels. Those are in the attached
Yeah.
description. We're also chatting on Discord, talking this, talking that. We were talking DBZ today. Who talks DBZ? Yeah, the pig trailer.
Oh yeah, that DBZ Survivor game.
No, I don't know Dragon Ball at all. Yeah,
Oolong. He's
for
from
sure.
original. You
Yes,
don't.
we
You
might
never
need
watched
to. And
original
if you
Dragon Ball,
would
did you?
please leave us a review,
Oh
do so. 5
man, you
stars
might
if
need to
you'd
change
be so
that.
kind. That is a wrap for this week. We are out.
Player games.